Hi, nostalgia buffs. Now, one of my favorite singers of the 70s and 80s was Billy Joel, who has been compared to Elton John, be called the American Elton John. They sound quite a bit alike when their singing voice, but their music's a little different, I think. Billy Joel's is more somber. Well, a lot of it is. And talks about stuff like the what it's like being in the music business, the recording business, and kind of I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, the Piano Man. I'm gonna name what I think are his top 10 songs in descending order, and this may seem asinine to you, but Piano Man is not in that top 10 list. I first remember Billy Joel when I was about 11, and I saw Oliver and Company on video, and I was really into Disney movies. I knew he did the voice of the Artful Dodger, and that would make sense because he got to sing in the movie. It would kind of unusual how he did a voice in that movie when he was never an actor. His daughter, I think, wanted him to be in the movie. And oddly enough, that's also where I found out about Huey Lewis, as he sang the opening song Once Upon a Time in New York City. The movie actually came out in 1988, but didn't come out on video until 1996, and I first remember watching it a year later. I don't have boring, pointless stuff about me. But then, a couple of years later, the first song I knew of Billy Joel's was "You May Be Right," and I think he's one of the best piano players, and some of his solos in this are just really good, just phenomenal. Even like Waltz Number 1 and Invention in C minor. I think those are actually him recording classic piano numbers. But I can't say I enjoy him more than Elton John, but they're just a little different. Now, here's the essential Billy Joel. I don't have the case anymore. I just got so beat up over time. Now, number 10, I think, it's still rock and roll to me from 1980. That kind of brash edge and bass and percussion and saxophone, I think, just made that a great expression of a lot of things. And I think the ambience is it's a fun sound with like I said, a brash edge, kind of expressing disapproval of or criticism towards modern rock as it was at the time. Maybe it's kind of like old time rock and roll to me, but his inflection and singing was just a lot of fun. I always thought it was a fun song. And number 9 is not on this essential Billy Joel, but the dialing at the beginning, the percussions, the bass, his tone and singing. It's just sometimes a fantasy. Oh, it's not the real thing. Sometimes a fantasy. It's only me. But I think the song's pretty racy if you listen to it. Number 8, I think a really underrated one with some good sax and a pretty lively performance, but restrained enough, is A Matter of Trust. That was from 1986. In that kind of rock and jazz feeling, I think I kind of feel like I'm singing along to it, and it seems like kind of a I definitely thinks it showcases his talent as a singer. He's kind of crossed several different genres: pop, rock, maybe adult contemporary. He's got kind of a loud, edgy tone in that one, but restrained enough so it's kind of got an artsy feel to it. A Matter of Trust. And number 7 on my list is, I think, a beautiful odyssey of a song, The River of Dreams. Billy Joel believes in ghosts, but he's identified as an atheist. It's a really a kind of peaceful and moving analogy that's lovely to relax to. It paints such a vivid, kind of spiritual picture about a dream he's had about, in the middle of the night, I go walking down the street through the river of dreams. I'm always looking for something I find, but it can only be seen by the blind. I'm not doing the words justice. It's about him trying to cross the river to whatever he's been yearning for that's on the other side, and it kind of taps into his spiritual side, and maybe that deep and down he does believe. Number 6, beautiful but an underrated song with good piano in it, Leningrad. It goes something like this. It talks about Cold War and when he was growing up, and how being under the desk at school in an air raid drill in his era, and what kind of the hell it was like living in Russia, growing up in Russia, and the kind of connection that seemed to be lost from hostility, and how it's a true story about how he was touring and went to Russia with his daughter and met a man who, and he talks about his sad, difficult journey he went through in life, and became a circus clown and made children laugh, and how it's a small world. He had proof that it's a small world, and that they never knew what good friends we had until they came to Leningrad. So it's a lovely song, an underrated one, I think. The piano and the singing music is lovely. And number 5, I think it's kind of an artsy odyssey of a song, which kind of the meanings it's kind of obscure, I think, but it seems to be talking about something 40 years in the future at the time. It's called Miami 2017, See the Lights Go Out on Broadway. I think the electric guitar, the percussions, the drums, and piano all come together to for a real song that really gets the singers invested in the feelings expressed in the song, and express maybe it helps you see anything you're interested in, what you're interested in, what's on your mind, in a kind of exhilarating, artsy fashion. Seeing the lights go out on Broadway, I saw the mighty skyline fall. They say the Queens could stay, blew the Bronx away. We all went on with the show, boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah. I'm not necessarily singing those lyrics in order. Maybe I'm not that smart. I'm not coming across as that smart. but I don't understand what that song's about. But I think it's a really good, maybe underrated one. And number 4 is a pretty intense, somber one, but so beautifully sang, and the music is just so wonderful. And it's Good Night Saigon. And number 3, We Didn't Start the Fire. Pretty raucous and intense, epic about basically everything in politics and entertainment and foreign relationships that he experienced in his lifetime. Kind of the ultimate patter song. Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, John Array, South Pacific, North Korea, Marilyn Monroe, Joe McCartney, Richard Nixon, Studebaker, JFK, Blown Away. What else do I have to say? Cola Wars, Walker Around the Clock, Elvis Presley, Peter Pan, Disneyland, Trouble in the Suez, Bernie Getz, AIDS Crack. It's an intense, scathing song. Look at the world without being too scathing to be enjoyed. It really gets you into a lot of feeling about. It could like have your entire life. It feels like your entire life, and everything that's happened now in the last 75 years, kind of coming before your eyes. And number 2, this may have scarred Billy Joel and make him look like a heathen, and the lyrics are pretty naughty, but Only the Good Die Young just got such an engaging tune and got just such a relaxing, cheerful, fun sound to it that brings just enthusiasm to your life. Only the Good Die Young. And now number 1, I think this is a really underrated one, but the strong guitar play and just the expression where he raucously yells out sometimes, and it just makes you feel just a strong zest for life. And if you've been through some distressing or hard times, it just makes you feel all the better and see the flair and zest in your life. I'll give you some examples of the song. I feel like I'm in the prime of my life. Barely, and I don't know why I go to extremes. Too high or too low, there ain't no in-betweens. And if I stumble or fall, it's all or nothing at all. Darling, I don't know why I go to extremes. There's my top 10 list, guys. Did you enjoy that? Alright. Bye-bye. I'll be back.